A great start to the weekend here as we've got baseball from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Tonight, the first of this three-game weekend series between the New York Mets and the New York Yankees. Going to be an interesting contrast in styles in this one as one of baseball's hardest throwers goes head-to-head with a top finesse arm. Next, Masahiro Tanaka, the right-hander from Japan, will get the starting assignment in this one. What's your take on him, Dan?
Tanaka right now is the best of all of their starting pitchers. Good fastball, 92 to 94. Best pitch is the split finger. He'll throw it early. He'll throw it often. If he has the good split, these hitters are in for a long night.
Into the box now, Eli Marquez. And we are set for baseball here this evening. First pitch on its way. Ball chopped foul right at home plate, and it's 0-1. And as the Yankees get started here tonight, guys, they dropped another one last time out, and in fact, they've won just twice in their last 8 tries.
Yeah, Matty, this team finds itself with a huge lead, double digits right now, and climbing, playing really good baseball. Some people will say, oh, you don't want to have that big a lead, you start resting on your laurels. I look at it the other way, man. You've earned the right to kind of get some guys off their feet if the manager wants to. There's a lot of different ways you can go about it. This team's focused and playing really good baseball. I would not worry about it. Keep pushing the throttle.
And now a chance to meet the Mets. Dan, who do we keep an eye on?
Well, Matt, I can't wait to see if La Potencia, Yoenis Cespedes, can keep it going. He's been the fire starter for this team. Last 10 games, how about an on-base percentage of over 400? As he goes, so goes the team. He's playing great ball and making things happen.
There's a fastball to start him off, but that misses for ball 1. And there are the umpires assigned to this one. Calling balls and strikes is Mr. Mike Fillmore.
Hey, D-Roll, Mike Fillmore, one of the most consistent umpires throughout the league. Both pitchers and position players love this guy.
Yeah, I think one of the best in the business. How I judge a good teammate is every day he opens that door. Is he consistent? Can I count on him? Mike Fillmore is the exact same way behind the dish.
Now the 1-1 pitch is swung on and missed for strike number 2. Really starting to pour now, and the forecast is not showing any signs of a break in the weather.
You know, one of the big issues is player safety, and right now this field is getting sloppy wet, Matt, and I don't know how much more rain this field can take.
And the fastball easy to lay off that time. 2-2. 1 out, nobody on. This is on the ground over to first. Walker is able to get there, and he'll take it onto the bag himself. 2 gone now here in the first. At the plate, Asdrubal Cabrera, and he's seen his numbers on the rise here over the last 5 games or so. Ready to deliver. Here's the first pitch. There's a strike.
Well, even though these two teams are in different leagues, they do play each other every year because of the crosstown rivalry, and it's always pretty fun.
Yeah, and for the players, Matt, they love it. Not only is there more on the line than usual, like bragging rights, but they're not having to stay at hotels and all that. It's just like a normal home game where they're driving to a different ballpark.
Just getting started here in the Bronx. A bouncer up the middle. And that's through for a hit. So the 2-out hit means that Yoenis Cespedes will bat this inning.
Hey, there's a nice knock by the 3-hole hitter. I know there's 2 outs, but they always say with your man coming up, the number 4-hole monster, as soon as he steps in the batter's box, there's a runner in scoring position.
Here's Yoenis Cespedes.
He gets a shot to hit here in the inning following the 2-out single.
Yeah, and that hit might not amount to much, but anytime you can extend an inning and give a guy with plenty of pop a chance to swing it, the outlook of an inning changes dramatically.
Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes. Off the plate and low here, ball 1. The 1-0. A swing and a shot hit down the corner.
But it bends just foul into the second deck.
Hit hard on the ground towards second. Throw to second for the force out, and the side is retired. One hit, one left. Mets 0. The Yankees coming up. It's crosstown action on Major League Baseball, the show. Noah Syndergaard, a right-hander from the state of Texas, is the man on the mound here. Dan Plesac, what do you got?
This guy's a pretty good pitcher, and I was looking through the stats, and one thing jumped out at me: a sub 1.20 whip coming into this start. That tells me a couple of things. One, he's not afraid to throw strikes, and two, when he does throw strikes, he throws quality, and he still gets people out. It'll be fun to watch this guy work in this one today.
So striding forward now, Aaron Hicks. He'll lead things off here in the bottom half of the first. And a ball 1-0. Fellas, these Mets, as they enter play here tonight, they're on a great run of late as they come in winners of 7 of their last 9 games.
Yeah, Matty, this team needs to keep their focus. Short road trips have a tendency to sneak up on you. Next thing you know, you drop 2 or 3 games, and then you're back in your home ballpark. They have to find a way to go out there and execute all facets of the game and squeak a few of these wins out.
He may be down 2-0 after those first 2 pitches in this AB, but those are pitches he can feel pretty good about. They didn't miss by a whole lot, so it's not like he's all over the place.
Now the 2-0. Skied in the air to straightaway left. Cespedes is there. 1 out. With that, it's time to check out the starting lineup for the hometown Yankees. Hero, give us what you have on this lineup as they start a new series.
Well, Matty, this team can do one thing very well. This lineup leads the league in home runs, and that's why people pay the price of admission. They want to see the long ball. Everybody loves home runs, and it's exactly what this lineup gives you. They get count leverage 1-0, 2-0, 3-1. Don't look for that base hit the other way. They are trying to turn and burn.
First pitch of the at-bat. Lifted into center field. Marquez has a play. 2 down. Here's big Aaron Judge. No one aboard for him, and 2 gone here in the first. Infield in the overshift here. Now the pitch. Right on the corner, a fastball that he takes for a strike. Bases are empty here with 2 men out. And that sinker misses at the shoe tops. Ball 1. Syndergaard, or Thor as he's often known. He was a first-round pick back in the 2010 first-year player draft.
Yeah, Matty, they certainly got it right when they drafted this guy. He has turned himself into an absolute superstar. Everybody knows this guy's name. The kids are buying his jerseys.
Tried to hold up there. Appeal down to first, and no swing. It's ball 2. The 2-1 home. Strike 2 swinging.
This offense has been warned. If they didn't know already, now they do know. He's got his A-game fastball with him today.
2 out, nobody on. Just a bit low, ball 3.
I think if he executes that pitch on the corner instead of off of it, he probably gets some pretty weak contact, if anything. He jammed him pretty hard on the previous pitch, so my bet was he was going to try to cheat on the inside part, thinking it might be coming again.
Swing and a miss, and that ends the inning. So the Yanks go 1-2-3. Still no score. In now, Michael Conforto. And as you can see, he's seen that average climb the last week or so.
Michael Conforto.
Infield shifted well to the right. Here's the first pitch. Leaves a slider right over the middle. Well, fans of the art of pitching are in for a treat. One of the game's big-time flamethrowers faces a top craftsman here today.
And you're going to see two different mindsets from both offenses, Dan. Facing the power guy, he's going to come at you. He's going to pitch to his strengths and not your weakness. And on the flip side, the finesse guy is going to try and keep everyone off balance. And I want to see what off-speed pitch he has working.
You know, Dero, that's one of the beautiful things about the game of baseball. Good pitchers come in all different shapes and sizes, and they come with all different type of weapons. We're going to see one flamethrower and one guy that throws below the speed limit.
All right, boys, let's take a look at how the Yankees are setting up on defense today. And guys, one thing I want you to focus on today when you look at this team on the defensive side of the ball, they're in the top 5 in fielding percentage. They go about their business a certain way. They make all the routine plays, mix in a few flashy ones, and day after day, they give their pitchers the best chance to be successful.
First pitch coming. Here it is. And there's a line drive. Base hit to left field. Around first, he's digging for second. And he'll pull into second with one away.
Let's slow this one down and take another look. Great camera angle here, looking straight down the left field line. You see him take that inside route to the ball. His hands stay back, and he goes oppo to find himself at second.
Coming to the plate now, Todd Frazier, and he could give his guys an early lead if he can come through here. First delivery to him on the way. Late that time for a strike. Couldn't wait back. A swing and a miss. Frazier, or the Todd Father as he's affectionately called. He was selected in the first round back in the draft of 2007.
Yeah, he has turned himself into a really nice ball player. I wouldn't put him on a superstar level, but you know what? They didn't miss with this pick either. You go into high rounds and you carve out a career the way this guy has, nice pick.
And that's the second out. So digging in now, Jose Bautista. And as you check out his righty-lefty splits, no surprise that he hits better against southpaws than he does against right-handers. Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes. First pitch hacking here, and that's the first strike. This year against right-handed pitching, Bautista is below the Mendoza line. The batting average under 200, unfortunately.
Matty, he struggled against right-handed pitching all season long, but he just needs a few knocks today, maybe to get the confidence going. I don't think this is the norm for this ball player.
In past meetings with Tanaka, he has an even 10 hits in 39 at-bats. He's also cashed in for 6 RBIs against him. The 1-1. Waves and misses for strike number 2.
That's a really nice thing about pitching with the base open. You can work out of the strike zone a little bit more and try to get a guy to chase your pitch, just like that one.
The 1-2 pitch. Hit on the ground to short. Throw on to Walker at first, and the inning is over. Mets leave one. We'll go to the bottom of the second. No score. Giancarlo Stanton now having a very nice year, currently second in the American League in batting average entering play.
Giancarlo Stanton.
Here's the first pitch to him. Missed with a slider. falls behind now, 2-0.
Talk about certain guys in the lineup that you want to be really careful with. This guy right here is one of those, and you can tell he's pitching awfully cautiously.
The 2-0 on the way. He swung on and missed, and that's strike one. Oh, and not an easy pitch to lay off of, but he did somehow, and he's got it to 3-1.
I understand pitching carefully to this guy in the box, but the man on deck doesn't represent any relief either. He's going to have to go after one of these guys.
And he takes ball 4. Leadoff man's aboard here to begin the home half of the second.
Batting fifth, catcher.
Digging in now for the Yankees, Gary Sanchez. Runner at first to start the inning. And Dan, when it comes to pitching in the rain, what changes?
I think the most difficult part, Matt, is the ball gets slippery. It's hard to keep your hands dry, and if you don't have a good feel on that grip, it's hard to control where you're going to throw the ball.
Ready to deliver. Here's the first pitch. Takes a knee-high fastball.
Great job of getting back in the zone with a hard fastball after the walk. I think he might have let a little frustration out with that pitch.
The 0-1 starts to go around here, but it doesn't matter. This is strike 2 anyway.
Hey, you know in the back of your mind as a batter right here, he's got that nasty sinker. I know it's 0-2, but he might not be looking for the punch out. You have to find a way as a batter to get that two-seamer up in the zone, or you're going to ground into a double play.
Here's the 0-2. And there's one well above the zone for a ball.
You know, Matty, I'm not surprised by that pitch. Raise the eye level a little bit. Maybe we get something bouncing in the dirt right here.
A swing by Sanchez, and this one's soaring out into left field. Almost into the short porch, but it's off the wall. And now this is thrown wildly, just getting it into the infield. And he'll pull into second here with nobody out.
The more things change, the more they stay the same. This guy's been producing at the plate all year long, and this at-bat is no different. He's probably surprised it didn't leave the yard after the season he's having, but he'll just have to settle for a double.
Here's Didi Gregorius. As the first pitch to him runs a bit inside for ball 1. They've come in here at 259, 18 homers, and 47 RBIs. This is on the ground over to first, but a foul ball, 1-1. Outside with the fastball as the count moves to 2-1 now. Stanton, the runner at third. Sanchez stands at second, no outs. Can't find the zone there, and it's 3-1. Career numbers versus Syndergaard. He's 0 for 4. The 3-1. Now a check swing here and a little looper. Cabrera is there, and he hauls it in for the first out of the inning.
Here's the defensive alignment for the New York Metropolitans. And let's focus our attention on catcher Travis d'Arnaud. He's going to have to step up today and have a big game for these guys. Not known necessarily for his defensive acumen, more of a big pop guy on the offensive side. He has got to control this game.
Next for New York, Neil Walker. He'll get to take his first cuts here. From the stretch, here's the pitch. Squared that one up just a little late. Bottom of the second here with no score. Counts even at 1-1 to Walker. He's set. Here comes the 1-1. And looked like the sinker here, but a good job of knocking this thing down. Swing and a miss at a ball tailing out of the zone. 2-2.
Hey, there's a ton of reasons I could give to you as to why this guy has been such a good pitcher in his career. But I think this is the biggest one. His ability to work out of nasty jams. Two guys in scoring position right here. Interested to see how he works out of this.
Count remains 2-2. Making him sweat out there. The 7th pitch coming up. This one sinks low and a touch outside. It's a full count, 3-2.
You can certainly tell at bats like this one frustrate the heck out of a pitcher. But you got to find a way to stay composed and execute your plan.
Now the payoff pitch home is swung on and missed. He got him.
Batting eighth, third baseman.
Into the box now, Jose Reyes, as he'll get his first opportunity in this one. Here comes the first pitch. A little bouncer, but it gets foul. Here comes the 0-1. Swing and a miss way behind the big fastball.
Boy, I love the way he's competing out there on the mound right now. He's got a chance to rack back-to-back Ks with 2 runners in scoring position. He's not giving in at all.
Oh, 0-2, here it comes. Fouled away. Here's the 0-2. And he's down on strikes, so they get 2 men into scoring position, but that's as far as they'll get as the side is retired. Back-to-back strikeouts keep them out of danger. We're back to Friday Night Baseball on the show after this. Here's the catcher, Travis d'Arnaud. In past meetings with Tanaka, he's 1 for 5. First pitch of the at-bat on its way. Takes a high fastball for a strike. d'Arnaud stands 6'2" as you see him in the right-handed box. He was a first-round pick back in the draft of 2007.
Yeah, he has turned himself into a really nice ball player. I wouldn't put him on a superstar level, but you know what? They didn't miss with this pick either. You go into high rounds and you carve out a career the way this guy has, nice pick.
The 1-1 home. Grounded down the third baseline, but a foul ball. 1-2 the count now. Travis d'Arnaud with an even 2-2 count now. The 2-2 one more time. Pulled high in the air out to left field. Stanton has a read on it. Looks it into his glove, and there's one gone.
Up next for the Mets.
Settling in now, Eli Marquez. 0 for 1 for him here in this one. He's ready. Here's the first offering. And that one stayed too low, apparently. Third inning, no score to this point. 1-1 the count now. A high fastball is in there. Good hard splitter, but it misses 2-2. Now a swing and a miss here as he's down on strikes. So it's 2 up, 2 down to begin the third.
Anytime you get rookies just breaking into the big leagues, you have to expect a certain amount of this. There aren't any easy at-bats at this level, and you really have to learn how to slow the game down in your head because everything feels like it's so much faster up here.
Into the box now, Luis Guillorme. As the first pitch to him is in there for a called strike one. Well, Yankee Stadium, of course, features a number of nods to the great history of the organization and its legendary players. But apparently, when you hit 52 home runs as a rookie, you rightfully get your own cheering section built in your name.
Just 2 simple words. All rise. Aaron Judge burst onto the scene. And what's really cool about the judges' chambers, all of those seats you're looking at right there are all given towards community organizations, charities, and even Little League teams. So the judges' chamber is going towards a good cause.
This is hit the other way out toward left field. Stanton is there, and he'll make the catch to retire the side. Down in order go the Mets. Home half of the third coming up. No score. The left-handed power bat of Greg Bird digs in now. Career numbers versus Syndergaard. Batting at an even 400. He's taken him deep once. Here's the first pitch to him. Popped him up. Cabrera is under it. Makes the play, 1 away.
Now batting, center fielder, Aaron Hicks.
Riding in once again, Aaron Hicks. 0 for 1 here in the early going. Ready to deliver. Here's the first pitch. Way out in front.
0-1.
Check swing, but he held up in time. Ball 1.
Well, you're in trouble at the plate if you fall behind this guy 0-2, so that was a good job to hold up right there.
Sinker stayed high, but called for a strike. Bottom of inning number 3, 0-0 our score. Belted high in the air out to left. Cespedes going back to the track. He's there, but oh, he clanks it off his glove. The relay, and he'll get in there at third as he just misses a home run, but settles for the triple.
Well, you really can't fault the effort out there in left field. Maybe a better break or route, and he catches this one, but who knows? Once it got by him, there was no way he was preventing the triple.
And that'll bring up Gleyber Torres as he'll take a called strike here on a borderline pitch. It's strike 1. And he fouls this one off. A little bit off the outside. It's 1-2.
Definitely a strikeout situation here with the runner on third, so that's smart, trying to make him chase that slider out of the zone.
No score here, but a potential run is 90 feet away with one gone. Oh, and this is swung on and missed. 4 strikeouts already, and that's out number 2.
Well, their chances of pushing across a run took a pretty good hit after that strikeout. It's so much tougher to score a guy from third with 2 outs instead of 1. Basically, you need a hit, or you need to get lucky with a wild pitch or a pass ball.
Ready now, Aaron Judge. Runner in scoring position with 2 gone. Comes set. Here's the 0-0 pitch. And, oh, looked inside, but that's ruled as strike. 0-1. And a fastball way off target here, and it's even at 1. The 1-1 is a fastball that misses. Hicks on third with 2 out. And the slider's in the dirt as he lays off it for a ball.
A lot of times you see guys in the middle of the order get worked away, but not right here. They're keeping it inside on him.
Is that an effort to keep him from getting extended, do you think?
Yeah, I think that's the idea, Matt, but he might spin to win if he starts looking for it in there.
Hit on the ground out to short. Throw in time, and the side is retired. 1 left for the Yankees. We'll head to the 4th, still scoreless. Here now is Asdrubal Cabrera. He'll be the one to lead off against Masahiro Tanaka.
This game is rolling right along as we move into the middle innings with no score. You'd think by now one of these 2 teams would be able to get some base runners on and get them in, but that hasn't been the case.
Slider right over the middle, taken for a strike.
This guy has been throwing the ball so well, and that's exactly why. He has such a feel for that secondary pitch. He can flip it over whenever he wants and get back in the count.
Just a bit late, and he's fallen behind 0-2. Again, he sends it out of play. And he'll try and tempt him with one in the dirt, but he'll hold back here. It's 1-2. To 2 balls and 2 strikes now. And he can only battle for so long as he's finally set down here after an 8-pitch at-bat.
Yeah, as they say, there's a hole in his swing in that location, so a good job there of exploiting that. That can be real hard for some guys to overcome when teams start figuring out what locations you just can't handle.
Here's the left fielder, Yoenis Cespedes. Ball 1 comes into this at bat 0 for 1 in the ball game. strike to even the count. 1-1. Here's Cespedes with a drive. That's high and deep to left field. And they're going to call this a home run. And now hold on just a second here. You can see the 4 umpires gathering near third. And it would appear that they're going to discuss whether this in fact stayed inside the foul pole. And I would guess that after all the discussion, they're going to go inside and have a look at the video replay. And that is indeed what they'll do, as we'll take a look and let you decide for yourself. All right, the review looks like it's over. Was there indisputable video evidence? Yes, it's a foul ball after all. So take the home run off the board, and there's an instance where the video review got it right. Both teams with just 2 hits apiece thus far. Pulls this one in the air out to left. On the move is Stanton. 2 down. Now at the plate, Michael Conforto. And Dan, it seems like this starter is just dominating the game right now. Feels like we're seeing a lot of 3-up, 3-down innings.
No doubt about that, Matt. Hey, I've enjoyed watching him go about his business, but I'm also interested to see if this offense can figure out a way to get a couple of cracks in his armor before it gets too late.
Yeah, that remains to be seen. He's ready. Here's the first offering. Looks at a sinker over the inside part of the plate.
He's looking really great on the bump right now. I mean, it's been a while since he's allowed a base runner, and he just jumped ahead of another hitter right there.
Into the windup. Here comes the 0-1. Here's a fastball that crowds him a bit, and it's 1-1. Conforto behind, a ball and 2 strikes. A bouncer to the left side. Throw on to Walker at first, and the inning is over. Mets go down 1-2-3. On to the bottom of the 4th now, still with no score. Back with Mark DeRosa and Dan Plesac, Matt Vasgersian, and leading off the inning, the big right-handed slugger, Giancarlo Stanton. Ready to deliver. Here's the first pitch. In on the hands a bit with the fastball. It's 1-0. And a good eye as he lays off, and the count moves to 2-1 now on the Yankee left fielder. Here's a shot to left field and deep. Look at this. And this one is gone. A home run. It's a solo blast off the bat of Giancarlo Stanton. 46 now for him on the season, as the Yankees will grab a 1-0 lead.
Well, if you're going to give up a towering blast to one of the best players in their lineup, it's better to do it with no one on base. It stings, sure, but a solo shot isn't going to be the deciding factor in a game.
Now batting.
Into the box, Gary Sanchez. As the first pitch misses to him, it's ball 1. 1 for 1 as he reached base with a double his first time up. The pitch. fires in a strike this time to make it 1 ball and 1 strike.
Even though he let that one go, you know that's the kind of pitch he likes to take a big hack at. Not too many power hitters that don't like a stomach-high fastball, so he's probably not throwing that one again.
One and 2 now as that one's fouled off. The 1-2. Tried to hold up there. Appeal down to first and no swing. It's ball 2. 1 run on 3 hits and no errors for the Yankees so far. This one also hit deep to left field. Cespedes is going to get back, and he'll put this one away on the warning track for the first out.
Well, he hit that ball pretty well, but the only problem was that he pulled off it just a bit. The location was a little on the outer half, so he would have hit it even better if he would have stayed through the middle of the field with it.
Here's Didi Gregorius. As he'll go after the first pitch to him and comes up empty, it's strike 1. Gregorius is unlike many of today's hitters in the sense that he doesn't have a lot of swing and miss in his approach at the plate. More often than not, he gets contact, and I'm sure that makes him a frustrating hitter to face from a pitcher's standpoint.
You know, he takes his chances when he has count leverage. Without question, 1-0, 2-0, you'll see this guy try and get nasty a little bit, but he stays within himself. He knows what his strengths are, and he tries to drive the ball right back where it came from.
Walker.
Coming to the plate now, Neil Walker. He'll look to bounce back after striking out his last time up. Here comes the first pitch. High and deep down the left field line. And this will wind up a foul ball. Pulled toward right center field. Bruce on the run. And that retires the side. Yankees are off and running early thanks to the solo home run. We're through 4. Now 1-0 Yanks. Stepping up now, Jay Bruce.
The right fielder, number 19, Jay Bruce.
Here's the first pitch to him. And this misses outside and a bit high. 1 ball, no strikes. Well, now that we're midway through this one, it's safe to say that runs have been at a premium, and both starters, doing it in different ways, have turned in excellent performances.
Dan, you could speak to this. Obviously, 2 different ways to skin a cat. One's a finesse guy working all 4 quadrants, keeping guys off balance. The other a flamethrower coming right at you.
Yeah, it's been a story of like 2 different styles of pitches, but both getting the same thing. Both throwing strikes early, keeping the ball down in the zone. As you touched on it, there's more than one way to get around through a lineup, and we've seen one guy with power and one guy do it more skill and finesse.
So striding in, Todd Frazier, as he'll look to bring home that tying run from second with a base hit into the outfield. First delivery to him on the way. Shoots this one over to first, and that's through into right field for a base hit. And they'll get it in quickly. It's first and third now with nobody out.
Hey, this has the makings of being a pretty big inning, D-Roll. Leadoff double, now a base hit, and all of a sudden we're looking at first and third.
Yeah, sometimes you wake up and just get smacked in the mouth right here. He's going to have to start executing pitches. He cannot leave a ball over the heart of the plate right here. He's going to have damage on his hands.
Stepping in now, Jose Bautista, as he rips it on the ground to second. And this is a base hit, and that'll get him on the board as this ball game is tied at 1.
Yeah, Dan, he's got to feel pretty good about that. Not only did he have a great AB, first pitch hacking, but he smoked that ball to mix in a ribby knock.
Boy, he did. He must have had a pretty good plan of attack walking into that batter's box, and he had an idea of the pitch that he was going to get, and boy, he sure turned it loose and buggy whipped that one.
Here's the catcher, Travis d'Arnaud, as Tanaka jumps ahead of him here at strike one. He's 0 for 1 thus far. And a fastball just below the knees, ball one. And it's 1-2. Two and two to the Mets catcher. Line toward the alley in left center. And he won't get it as that's down for a base hit. Now a long throw home. The runner scores from second.
Boy, that has to feel good as a hitter, D-Roy. You get that base hit to give your team the lead. You have to feel good when you get down to first base.
Yeah, it's just a nice approach. You see him turn to his boys right there and get fired up with the dugout. 100%, not trying to do too much, able to quiet the moment down, center himself, and come through in a big spot.
Standing in now, Eli Marquez, as he takes a fastball off the plate for a ball 1-0. No hits to this point. The 1-0. Now the double steal is on here. Swing, line drive. That's going to be trouble. And the runner will score from second. Throw to third, but he's in there, as they also score a pair of runs on the play.
That's a monster at bat right there. A one-run lead is fine and everything, but a three-run cushion feels a lot better. And that's where they stand right now after that three-bagger.
Into the box now, Luis Guillorme. And a wild pitch here as this one's to the backstop. And he will beat the tag, safe at the plate. And that is going to cost him a run as he'll scamper home on the wild pitch. Bases are empty here, nobody out. Good bite to that thing, and it's 1-1. Now the 1-1 pitch. Heading out towards shallow right. Judge is under it, and that's the first out of the inning.
The batter, number 13, second baseman, Asdrubal Cabrera.
Into the box, Asdrubal Cabrera, 1 for 2 with a base hit back in the first inning of play. Here comes the first pitch. Tough slider down low for a strike. 5 runs, 7 hits, and no errors on the Mets line score so far. And low, it's a ball and a strike.
Now for 4 innings, he was great. But here in the 5th, he looks like a completely different guy out there. That happens a lot when a pitcher is facing batters for the 2nd or 3rd time in a game.
And it's fouled away. Here he comes on a ball and 2 strikes. This is line to left, and that will fall in front of Stanton. It's a base hit. So a solid single to left. And that gives him a multi-hit game here tonight. And as we check out the rankings on this Mets ball club, you can see there he's currently leading the team in that department. Ready once again, Yoenis Cespedes. 0 for 2 for him to this point.
You know, Madden, every team has that one guy, and Yoenis Cespedes is that guy for the Mets. Completely changes that complexion of that Mets betting order.
Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes. And the slider stayed low apparently for a ball. And facing right-handed pitching so far this season, Cespedes hits a little over the 270 mark. Now the 1-0.
Nope, that's foul.
Now the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Cabrera leads off first with 1 away. And a slider bounces, and that gets away. And forget about the double play now as he'll move up to second here on the wild pitch. And look out as that one ran in and got him.
Well, there's a couple of ways to look at this. It never looks good to hit a man when your team is getting shelled. Seems a little suspicious. Then again, sooner or later, you've got to reclaim the inside part of the plate, or things can get even worse.
Into the box, Michael Conforto. As he'll watch one miss down and in for a ball, 1-0. The 1-0 misses down below the knees.
Great chance right here as a hitter to be aggressive. You can pretty much count on a pitcher. He's trying to get back in the strike zone. And with 2 guys on base right here, it's time to grip it and rip it.
Now the 2-0. And a hard sinker there. Chopped foul at home plate. Now the 2-1. And this is on the ground to first. Could be 2. There's 1. Relay to first in time. And just like that, this side is retired. 9 men come to the plate, however. 5 of them score. Last half of the 5th coming up. The Mets lead this one 5-1. Digging in, Jose Reyes as we move past the halfway point in this one and begin the bottom of the 5th.
This one doesn't look good so far. Down by a boatload as we enter the middle innings. It's about time they get something going. And the last thing you want to do is fall behind where you have to score a bunch in the 8th and 9th inning.
The windup and the 1-0 pitch. Lifted the other way out to left center. Cespedes on the move. He makes the catch. A great effort to get there and record the first out of the inning.
Designated hitter.
The left-handed power bat of Greg Bird digs in now. Flied out in his first at-bat, so make him 0 for 1 so far. Ready to deliver. Here's the first pitch. Couldn't wait back. A swing and a miss. Hard hit ball to second. On to first, and very quickly 2 are gone in the home 5th.
The batter, center fielder, Aaron.
Trying to pick things up where he left off, Aaron Hicks. He tripled earlier, making him 1 for 2 in the ball game. Here's the first pitch to him. And he turns on one, sending it high and deep to right. Bruce has to retreat to the track, but he has it to retire the side. 1, 2, 3 go the Bombers. They're down 5-1. Here's Jay Bruce now. And Dan, I'm sure the starter on the mound would like to hit the rewind button on that last inning.
Oh, no doubt about that, Mac. That was a really rocky frame, but clearly not enough to chase him from this game. We'll see if he's still shaking a bit or if he's able to put this behind him.
Jason Shreve is out from the bullpen now as he'll make his first appearance here on the season.
Jason Shreve.
First pitch coming. Here it is. A fastball that he's way out in front of. A swing and a miss. This is pulled into right. Judge is there, and he makes the catch for the out.
Well, we've mentioned the conditions aren't ideal with the rain coming down, and that can make every play a little bit of an adventure. You really have to concentrate, and he did there to haul it down.
Here's Todd Frazier now. He's 1 for 2 in the ball game. Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes. A swing and a miss just out in front of that fastball. Shreve is a guy known for his lights-out stuff. He tends to rack up strikeout numbers at a very high rate. However, he does at times get wild. Walks have come back to bite him on more than one occasion.
You know, it's not uncommon, Matty V, for a relief pitcher to come in with really good stuff, and it seems like he's either really hit-miss. He'll rack up a lot of strikeouts, but if he's not quite on, he'll also rack up a lot of base on balls, and that can cause a pitching coach and a manager to really start to pull their hair out.
Under it, Gregorius, and that's out number 2.
Now batting, the first baseman, Jose Bautista.
Next for the Mets, Jose Bautista, a hit in 2 tries so far. First pitch of the at-bat. Takes a high fastball for a strike.
He might want that pitch back. Up and away, that's a pitch you can really drive if you have the right approach towards that opposite field gap.
The 0-1 on its way. Hit sharply on the ground. A dive, but he can't get a glove on it. It's through for a base hit.
Hey guys, he's not known for being a singles hitter right here, but that's his second knock of the game.
And I'm sure he'll take him, but the guys on the other side of the scorecard might be thinking we really avoided a worse fate. Stepping in now, Travis d'Arnaud. He swings and hits it foul off to the right and out of play. A hit in 2 at-bats for him at this point in the ballgame. From the stretch. Here's one that misses high. It's 1-1. And he comes back with a fastball. 1-2 now.
We're seeing quite a few pitches up from him right now, and that can obviously be dangerous. A cold strike there, but he might need to lower his sights a little bit.
Bautista leads off first with a pair of outs in the inning. And a changeup here, but that's taken low in the dirt for a ball. Got him swinging, and that will end the inning. Mets strand 1. They're up 5-1. And that'll bring up Gleyber Torres. And at this point of the game, I think it's clear that the plan of attack against the top of the order has worked.
Well, when you've only surrendered 1 hit to the top 3 guys in the order up to this point in the game, you know you're doing something right, Matt. You're spot on. Whatever they discussed coming into this game has worked out beautifully.
First offering on its way. Swing and a miss just behind a lively fastball.
Yeah, Matty, you're seeing a lot of late swings on the fastball tonight because this guy has had everything working. He has them in the proverbial rocking chair.
And this ball's pretty well struck high and deep to left field. Cespedes going back on the warning track. He makes the catch. Here's big Aaron Judge.
99, Aaron Judge.
First pitch on its way. And a neck-high fastball that time. The 1-0 home is in there for strike one. This is hit high in the air out toward left center. Marquez moves over, makes the play, and there are two gone now. Next will be the cleanup hitter, Giancarlo Stanton. He went deep last time up.
The last at bat, Matty B, we heard this guy's a good fastball hitter. He got a fastball and didn't miss it. We'll see if they pitch him a little bit differently this time and mix in some off-speed pitches.
Turned on that one and crushed it. Just pulled it a little foul. On its way is pitch number 75. Now a fastball here, not close, and it's 1-1 now.
Well, he's done a great job on the hill throughout this game, and it's something to be proud of anytime you can pitch a good game in this ballpark, especially when it's not your home ballpark.
A ball and two strikes.
Well, there's a pitch we haven't seen in a while. If he's going to have the ability to flip that in there whenever he wants, this is going to be a tough test.
Giancarlo swings, and this ball is hit well into left field. And that one is gone on a two-strike count with two away in the inning. A solo home run here off the bat of Giancarlo Stanton, his second of the game, and it's now a 5-2 game.
Boy, when the leading MVP candidate steps into the box, I'm not sure it's wise to challenge him, especially with a pitch like this. But they do, and he makes them pay for their mistake. He's been doing this all year long.
Standing in now, Gary Sanchez. As the first pitch to him is taken low and away for ball one. A hit in two tries for him so far. Now the 1-1 pitch is laid off for ball two.
Well, it's 2-1 now, and we haven't seen a fastball from him in this at bat yet. As a hitter, you've probably got to sit on that right now.
And the 2-1. He's fallen behind now, 3-1. He loses him on ball four.
Well, he walked him on 5 pitches, but that last pitch was really good. He missed down, but only by a hair. When a hitter has a 3-1 count, he can wait until he gets a pitch he loves.
Digging in to try it again, Didi Gregorius. 0 for 2 from him so far in this one. First offering on its way. Takes a knee-high fastball. Sanchez is off at first with 2 away. Hit out towards second. Taken there by Cabrera. He'll whip this one to first in time, and that ends the inning. The Yankees claw back a bit thanks to the home run. Top of the order due up to start the 7th. It's the Mets 5 and the Yankees 2. Back here in the Bronx, getting set for the 7th inning now with the Mets out on top. But first, let's check out the game summary through the first 6 innings of baseball. Now back to the top of the Mets order, digging in Eli Marquez, and he's looking to add on to his 2 RBI game from earlier. First delivery to him on the way. Swing and a miss way behind the big fastball. Here it comes on 0-2. Back up the middle. That's through for a base hit, his 2nd of the ball game. So that's how they'll start out their half of the 7th inning.
You don't see that too much in today's game. Most guys, it doesn't matter what the count is. They're looking to line them, drive the ball out of the ballpark. Not the case here. Good 2-strike adjustment, able to punch a ground ball through a hole for a single.
In now, Luis Guillorme. As he'll go after the first pitch and bounce it into foul territory. He could really use a knock here. 0 for 3 in the game so far. The 0-1 delivery. Waved at and missed, and he's behind 0-2.
That was a good swing right there. Might be the best one he's had all night because he was right on it.
Hoping to send him packing. Pitch on its way. Now a swing, and he gets him to pop it up. And this will land foul. Swing and a liner. Well, this is pulled in by the shortstop, and he will scurry back to first as he'll think twice about trying to move up.
Now batting, second baseman.
So a runner at first now with 1 away, and that'll bring in the second baseman, Asdrubal Cabrera. First pitch of the at-bat. Takes a look down at the knees for a strike.
You know, guys, sometimes guys don't like pulling the trigger 0-0. They want to see something go by, calibrate the speed, calibrate the brake, and then make their adjustments off that. Maybe that's the case right here.
Ball 1. Sent on the ground out to second. One there. On to first as they get the double play to get him out of the inning. 4 to 6 to 3. They roll it up to get out of the jam. We're back to Friday Night Baseball on the show after this. Here's Neil Walker. No hits in 2 trips to the plate for him in the ball game.
Even though we're moving into the back end of this game, they're only down by a couple of runs. You know that old slogan, a bloop and a blast. They could certainly use that right now.
First pitch coming. Here it is. And a good idea to hold off on that swing. It's ball 1. Action in the Mets bullpen now. It's both a lefty and a right-hander that start to throw. Checks his swing here, but he does so in time. Hit in the air to left field. Cespedes is there. 1 out. Stepping into the box, Jose Reyes. It was a fly out for him in his last trip. First pitch of the at-bat on its way. Sent in the air out to straightaway center. In there, a base hit.
Now batting, designated hitter,
The left-handed power bat of Greg Bird digs in now. He started out the evening 0 for 2 so far. He set and the pitch. Changeup in for a strike. Reyes, base runner at first with one out. Sure enough, there goes Reyes. Pitch is a cold strike. The throw. It bounces, but he's out. Nice play there to pick the throw and put the tag on quickly.
Check out the lead here. That's about as standard as it gets, and it didn't do him a lot of help on that steal attempt either. Could have been a different story if he took another couple feet off the bag.
Into the windup. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Started to go around there, but he holds up ball one.
You find yourself down 0-2 in these situations, it's tough to check your swing right there. That was a nice job.
Here's the 1-2 delivery. And he comes back with a fastball. Strike three called, and the inning is over. The Yanks held in check, and the deficit remains 5-2. Here's Yoenis Cespedes. He'll lead things off against the same reliever that finished off the last inning.
Well, you don't see in this day too many relievers going multiple innings, but guys have to earn that trust from their managers. We'll see how he handles it here.
Here's the first pitch to him. Belt high and right down the middle for a strike. High in the air out to center field. Hicks is under it. Looks it into his glove, and there's one gone. Stepping in, Michael Conforto. No hits for him yet in the game despite his team's offensive onslaught. From the stretch. And he holds up here, but the pitch is a cold strike anyway. Fastball called for strike two. Here's the 0-2. Now he gets on top of one here and chops it foul right at home plate. And this is swung on and missed. Two are quickly retired to start inning number 8.
The right fielder, number 19.
So two are gone in the Mets half of the 8th, and that'll bring in the right fielder, Jay Bruce. First pitch of the at-bat. Sliders in for a strike. We're in the 8th inning now of a 5-2 ball game. And Bruce can't come up with that one as he swings through it for strike 2.
Some guys have no trouble hitting with 2 strikes, and some guys never want to get there. Let's see the approach right here. I'd like to see him shorten up a little bit, maybe choke up and try and work the ball back up the middle the other way.
Taking it in there is Hicks for the final out of the inning. Down in order go the Mets. They're still out in front, 5-2. Jerry Familia will come on in relief now as he'll make his 35th appearance of the season. Stepping into the box, Aaron Hicks. Hit the ball pretty well in his last at-bat, but it resulted in a line-out. He's set. Here it comes. Now a swing and a ground ball for the second baseman, Cabrera. Oh, and Cabrera bobbles it.
I know it wasn't pretty right there, Dan, but that has to frustrate the pitcher. Leadoff guy, anytime he gets on, usually creates a problem.
You know what, D'Lo, it's especially tough when you get as late in the game as we are right now. Anytime you get that leadoff guy on and have that pitcher start pitching out of the stretch, it always puts more stress on that pitcher pitching out of the stretch.
And that'll bring up Gleyber Torres. As the first pitch sinker misses to him, it's ball one. He's hitless in 3 at-bats to this point. Now the 1-0 is laid off, but in there for strike one. Hicks on at first, nobody out. Way out in front. The 1-2. It's the top of the zone. He struck him out looking.
The right fielder, number 99, Aaron.
Here's big Aaron Judge. And he's 0 for in this one, batting out of the 3 spot. He's ready. Here's the first offering. Comes right after him with a fastball for a strike. And the slider's in the dirt as he lays off it for a ball. Skied in the air to straightaway left. Cespedes is there. Makes the play, and there are 2 gone now. Giancarlo Stanton now, and with men on base and 2 away, it feels like this at-bat could go a long way toward deciding this thing.
No doubt, Matt. A base hit here changes this game quite a bit. But if they can't score here, it looks pretty bleak for them heading into the last couple of innings.
First pitch coming. Here it is. Called strike over the outside part of the plate. From the belt, kicks and deals. And that sinker misses at the shoe tops. Ball one. A runner on first with 2 away. A ball and 2 strikes now. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Slider whiffed on for strike 3. A great pitch to put an end to the inning. Yanks leave 1. They trail 5-2. Dylan Betances enters from the pen to start the 9th inning as he'll try to keep the score right where it is heading to the bottom of the 9th. Here's Todd Frazier now. Previous history against Dylan Betances. He's 2 for 4. He also has 1 home run. Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes. 0-1 the count. A fastball right over the outside corner.
Great spot with that pitch down and away. He'll be fine coming out of the bullpen in this one if he can keep hitting that spot.
Pause and the 0-2. And the knuckle curve freezes him as he becomes out number 1.
Not a lot of guys throw that knuckle curve, but some guys have a lot of success with it. Some say it has more bite than the traditional curveball, but I think it's more of a feel thing. It just works for certain pitchers, and it worked right there.
Into the box, Jose Bautista. As he'll take a look at his strike right down the middle. It's 0-1. He's 2 for 3 and looking for more here. Fouled off. And he strikes him out as well. So make it back-to-back punch-outs here to the first 2 men he faces out of the bullpen.
No problems for him on the mound since he's come out of the pen to start this inning. That's back-to-back Ks, and he's making it look pretty easy. This has the makings of a good outing so far.
Striding into the box, Travis d'Arnaud. First 2 men in the inning have both gone down via the punch-out, so we'll see if he can fare any better. A fastball that finds the outside corner. And he pumps the fastball by him here. 1-2 now. Bases are empty here with 2 men out. And he struck him out. So a good pitch there, and now they're going to need to string some hits together in this last at-bat if they want to get back in this thing. 3 up, 3 down, 3 strikeouts. Not too shabby. We're back to Friday Night Baseball on the show after this. Paul Sewald is the man called on to close this one and earn a save in the ninth. Digging in, Gary Sanchez. It was a walk in his last trip.
Hey, not impossible, but highly improbable. Even when you're at home to score 3 runs off a closer like this guy, they've got the work cut out for him.
1 ball, no strikes to count. The 1-0. Fouled away.
That fastball must have a little late life on it because that was right in the wheelhouse and he still wasn't able to get good wood on it.
1-2 to the Yankees catcher. They really bunch him up on that one as he swings and misses for the first out. Final line there for the Mets starting pitcher. He was on point from the get-go this evening. Now batting, Didi Gregorius, who could really use a knock here. 0 for 3 in the game so far. First pitch on its way. Now a check swing, but it's strike 1 anyway, says the home plate umpire. The windup and the 0-1. Popped high in the air. Frazier over to his left, and that's the second out of the inning.
Up next for the Yankees.
Digging in now, Neil Walker. He comes to the plate as the last chance for his side. 2 out here in the ninth. First pitch of the at-bat on its way. And he squares up on this one. Deep to straightaway right. And that's going to wind up hooking just a bit foul, so a missed opportunity there. Sent on the ground out to second. Throw on to first is going to be in time to get him, and the Mets have claimed the 4th consecutive victory here as this ball game is over.
Yeah, and they just keep on keeping on. Got a nice little run going here, winning 4 in a row and playing with a lot of confidence. Success is never guaranteed in this game, so you have to appreciate it when it comes.
5-2 the final score tonight. New York used a nice 5th inning to take the lead, and they never gave it back. Noah Syndergaard earned his 5th win of the year. Paul Sewald hammers down the save, his 26th. So that'll put a wrap on things here this evening. For my partners Dan Plesac and Mark DeRosa, I'm Matt Vasgersian. This has been a special presentation of MLB The Show. For more, follow us on Twitter at MLB The Show.
The final line score for our ball game tonight. For the victorious New York Mets, 5 runs, 10 hits, no errors. They left 6 men on base. For the Yankees, 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors. They left 5 men on base. Time of the ball game, 2 hours and 59 minutes. Our paid attendance here tonight at Yankee Stadium, 53,325. The Yankees thank you for attending and remind you to please drive home safe.